Horrifying accidents, bad decisions, deadly mistakes. When the government is to blame, a special Florida law kicks in to protect the state, often at the expense of you and other victims. Sometimes people are left with lifelong pain. Tonight, Four in Your Corner investigator Katie LaGrone exposes the ugly truth about government tragedies in Florida and the desperate call for change.
John, go look in your book.
No victim of tragedy
Sometimes I forget what she was like before.
will ever tell you
She's my little girl.
surviving is easy.
In an adult body.
He would have been 16 this year coming.
But this story isn't about moving on.
Shameful.
It's about
Sad. It's really sad.
being stuck in a state system
It's ugly. Very ugly.
its own people admit
It's a sad, cold process.
is nearly broken.
It's a system that needs a complete overhaul.
This was how his desk was set up.
5 years later, Lillian Beauchamp is revealing what it's like to battle for justice when the government is on the other side.
Aaron's artwork, it's awful. I mean, the whole process is awful. The whole process is awful.
Awful began March 26, 2012. 9-year-old Aaron was riding the bus home when the driver turned into the path of an oncoming semi.
I'm so sorry! What did I do?
Aaron was one of 30 students on the bus that day and the only student to die.
You just think about the things that you've missed. Lots of things in 5 years.
The family sued. After a week-long trial, a jury found the St. Lucie County School District 87% at fault, awarding $8.6 million in damages. Closure?
It's unjust.
Hardly.
I think we were beaten down.
You see, when families sue a government agency over a mistake, courts don't always have the final say. In fact, when families end their battle in a courtroom, a new fight begins to get those agencies to pay up. And that battle involves Florida lawmakers who have to approve these payouts in a process known as a Florida Claims Bill.
The hardest part is reliving this.
Over and over every year. That's sad.
After the Pasco County Sheriff's Office spent years fighting, Tracy Wolgemuth eventually stopped tracking her daughter's claims bill.
I had no idea what we were up against.
Jenny was 21 when her car was struck by a Pasco deputy chasing a suspect.
I have this car right here.
13 years later,
Wasn't for that, I wouldn't have a clue.
Jenny will never drive again or live alone.
Spaghetti last night? You did.
Can't remember 5 minutes ago
When did we have breakfast this morning? Yeah.
and hasn't been paid a dime.
So no, it's never been about the money. It's always been about justice and doing the right thing.
I think, without question, the state of Florida has one of the worst claims bill processes that you could possibly have.
Veteran State Representative Evan Jenny of South Florida has tried changing Florida's system for years.
There are very powerful folks on the other side of this issue that would like to see nothing change.
One idea? Increasing Florida's limit on how much victims can get paid without a claims bill. Right now, Florida's cap is just $200,000. Other states, $1 million.
You're just angry because, you know, you just want this to be resolved. You want some sort of closure.
This month, closure came after the school district finally paid for the crash that took Aaron. But the $8.6 million jury verdict whittled down to $1.5 after the claims bill process. The district spent nearly $700,000 to fight.
What do you think the death of a 9-year-old is worth? It's sad. It's really sad.
It's filled out.
Jenny is also finally getting paid for the government mistake that stole her memory. $8.6 million, now $2.6 million, after her Tallahassee battle went on for an entire decade.
As far as I'm concerned, it's not a victory. They won. Jenny didn't win. They did.
A process created to protect tax dollars, often leaving victims stuck in the government's own mistakes.
Don't punish families for a process.
Katie LaGrone, Fox 4, in your corner.
Now, the Research Institute Florida Tax Watch studied Florida's claims bill system just a few years ago, and you can see their full results and recommendations so you can decide for yourself when you head to fox4now.com and click on Katie's story.